Those strict stay-at-home orders have had an impact on crime. In Los Angeles, authorities say major crime has dropped 23%, while in New York City, overall crime has dropped 33% compared to the period before the lockdown. That doesn't mean the criminals aren't out there. In the case of this home invasion, the culprits were wearing surgical masks.
It's a terrifying home invasion by two bandits wearing hospital masks. When the unsuspecting homeowner answers the door and the bad guys burst in, a desperate struggle breaks out and spills out the front door as the homeowner wages the fight of his life. One invader flees. The other bandit was shot dead in the struggle.
Report of a man with a gun and a lot of commotion and screaming going on at the residence.
Cops say the Illinois homeowner opened fire in self-defense. In Chicago, a rash of violence in one night has left 7 people dead. And to enforce social distancing, the mayor has introduced a new liquor curfew. Sales of booze are now banned after 9 p.m.
A liquor curfew will remain in place through the duration of Governor Pritzker's stay-at-home order.
At the city's Cook County Jail, which has been hit hard by the coronavirus, inmates put up homemade signs in the windows reading "Save Us" and "Help, we matter too." And it looks like the nation's empty highways have led to a new record for the notorious Cannonball Run, speeding from New York City to Redondo Beach, California in 26 hours, 38 minutes, beating the old record by 45 minutes.
Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Kol Holo Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shai, Baal Shem HaKadosh. Double honor to the apostle and elders of the great millstone who taught me this truth. Salutations to the Yakim out there on the highways and byways, pushing the truth in all sincerity and risking their lives to do so. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered among the four corners of the earth that believe in the truth of Yahweh Baal Shem Yahweh Shai. Shalom. This is 2nd Esdras 15 and 16, which reads, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Yeah, and that's currently going on now. With the government shutdown, people have no regard, for the government and law enforcement being out there protesting, and they're out on the state houses, with guns, and they're raising their voices and arguing with the government to open back the economy so they can go out and work and try to provide and survive in civilization. But the government, due to this coronavirus pandemic that the Lord has unleashed upon the world, they shut down the economy, or society, in order to be able to control the pandemic. But really, just part of Esau's plan to try to implement, his new world order and implement his mark of the beast upon the people. And, they're just getting a little taste of, what's to come, because it's going to intensify, in these end days, because, this is what the Lord intends to happen before his return. And this is the times that we're living in. That's why you're seeing brothers making videos. They're bringing out, 2nd Esdras 15 and 16 a lot, because we're living these times out currently, And you're going to continue to see the repetitiveness of these videos, concerning these scriptures, because these are the times that we're in. The reading on, "A man shall desire to go into the city and should not be able." Yeah, because martial law is going to be in effect. "For because of their pride, and cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And men shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with their sword, and spoil their goods, because of lack of bread and great tribulation." Yeah, and you saw in the video, the dudes that came through with surgical masks to invade a dude's home, saying they had no regard for their neighbor, They had no pity upon them. They was going to go in there and do what they had to do, to get whatever means they need to survive, and that's what's going to be. And this is only going to intensify. This is just the beginning of troubles to come, because we're in a time of Jacob trouble, and, many of our people are going to suffer during these times. 2/3 of the nation of Israel, those that refuse to repent and turn to the Lord is going to destroy. And he's going to use these plagues and these pestilence that he's created, to do so, And he's going to unleash Esau, who is the wicked, who is his sword upon the nations, And they're going to turn back to that old fold, that they once had, They're going to have that spirit placed back upon them, that they had during the slavery years, But it's going to be intensified, It's going to be like 1,000 times worse, But the Lord going to put the spirit on all people to be in chaos during these times, because, these are all signs of the end. And, going back to the video, these dudes, they had surgical masks on to disguise themselves, even though the dude had a camera on his doorstep, they didn't care, because they had the mask on, hiding their identity, But, having surgical mask on is the norm now because of the pandemic, and otherwise, if, prior to this pandemic, for you to see, people with gloves on and surgical masks on their face, was abnormal. That was aberrant behavior. If you saw somebody, walking down the street, prior to this breakout with a surgical mask and gloves on, you'd be like, yo, look, this dude's a weirdo. What the fuck is up with him? But because, the law has instructed, the law has instructed people to wear gloves and surgical masks in order to prevent the transmission of this disease, that's the normal. So they took that opportunity to make a surgical strike on these families, being that, these dudes, they probably got to work or whatnot, and they trying to, having a hard time for ends to meet, they did what they, thought was best. They probably was, camping this dude out, seeing that he had, certain things that they needed, He probably had some money, he probably was well known for having money or whatever it may be. And they knew of it, so they was like, oh, we're just going to go in his home and rob him. We're going to take his money, because we're not working and we need to survive. And that's the attitude or the spirit that the Lord is going to put upon people during these times, because when, there's famine and there's, there's lack of food, people are going to do whatever they have to do in order to feed their families, When their kids coming to them and, they haven't eaten in weeks, they're going to do whatever it takes to provide for their family. If it means going into your home and even taking over your home and killing all your people that's in there and taking over your home so they can take your goods and survive and have a place to stay, because many people probably going to be without homes because, due to the government shutdown, many people are losing their jobs, so they're not even going to have a place to stay, let alone, be able to have food, So if they could find a habitation and it has food on top of that, they're going to, do what they got to do, to take you out so they can have that habitation for themselves. So, it's going to be survival mode out here, and it's going to intensify because these are things that have to happen during these times before the Lord's return. And the Lord's going to allow these things to happen, and He's only going to put His protection upon, the elect. The Lord's going to, save the elect out of this, scarcely, but they're still going to be saved, and it's going to happen because the Lord said His word should not go void, and these are the times that we're in, and we're fulfilling these prophecies, And that's pretty much it. I didn't want to make this video long. As you know, many brothers are making videos, going into these same scriptures because these are the times that we're in. So you're going to continue to see these scriptures come out because we're fulfilling prophecy during these times. So I hope this video has been edifying. Just want to say, call halal Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honor to Apostle Els, a great Muslim, taught me this truth. Salutations to the Akim out there pushing the truth for all sincerity and risk their lives to do so. Salutations for the hopeful elect that believe in the truth of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Just want to say Kwam Yasharallah, Abba Baba, Shalom.